50% less sugar, 50% more protein, lactose free,
Yeah.
and it's delicious. Hang on.
My internet looks like it's messing up again.
Now that's some good milk. That's what the commercial would look like.
It's just a picture of you with Fairlife in your hands.
No. The whole thing. I got to do it again. Ready? No, that's good milk.
Let's. Wow, this is the worst it's ever been. That's better, I think. No.
I don't know.
I can hear you, but you're like robot voice.
Well, maybe it's me. Is it my mic? Let me see. Yeah, it is me.
I'm gonna try something real quick.
Is that better?
Quick. Is this better?
This is better. From my side, it's kind of the same.
From my side, it's 100 times better.
Well, all right then. What'd you do?
Yeah. I changed. This is frustrating. We have a Google Nest router mesh system. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. So you changed nodes. Yeah.
Okay. No, I changed away from that. We have another router that goes into the Google Nest router, and I just changed it. I skipped the Google Nest router and went to the main router. So the problem is the Google Nest router, which sits right next to the one I'm now using.
Right.
That's not good.
Right.
So at least now I'm getting unstable connection shit again. But it just seems better. So look at you, Fairlife right out of the jug.
Now that's some good milk. I mean, it's delicious.
Fairlife.
I know you have the same problem, so you can relate. When I wake up and I was sleeping with my mouth open, there's nothing better than milk.
Have we talked about that? Is that how you know?
I know that because of the hostage tape.
Oh, right.
We talked about the hostage tape. But like,
and by the way, when we say hostage tape, meaning the thing that actually goes over your, not like a tape of hostages that we've watched.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, it's not Faces of Death or hostage. Not like a YouTube hostage highlights.
Not anything else except for the fact that it's tape that goes across. Yeah, we didn't watch the January 2024 hostage highlight video on YouTube. Not that. I gotta turn the lights up.
But like,
well, you have a compressed schedule here, so maybe we just jump right into it.
What'd you say? There
we go. Yeah.
There's a delay thing happening here.
Commitments. But tell me about
Get your shit together.
I don't understand how this house of all the places I've ever lived has the worst internet. I'm not that fucking far. It's all the lead paint in the walls. It has to be. It has to be the fact that there's lead paint everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I've heard that that's a big factor in old homes. So it definitely could be.
I know we have it. So I'm guessing it's got to be blocking the signal worse than a wall without lead paint on it.
Do you have a node in the room with you?
No.
And I think I've made this suggestion before, but opening that door might be a big difference over your right shoulder.
I know what you mean. I got a dehumidifier running out there. It's not possible right now, but maybe I'll just take that node and move it in here and see if that works.
So
It just doesn't seem
that's
like.
what I did. I've got a node
Okay.
literally right down there. And
yeah, I'm gonna try that.
And I have a door that's glass just like yours, and it couldn't navigate the door. I don't know.
So
I don't know how Wi-Fi works.
I don't either. I don't understand why it works in one. So that node is down the stairs through a door, down the stairs from the actual router. So moving it from that room to this room doesn't seem like it would make that much of a difference. Maybe it will. I don't know. I got to fucking try it. Something's got to change. This is crazy.
Well, hold on. It's on the other side of the door, so that's the difference.
It's on the other side.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is it's downstairs, right? From where the router is, and to get to it from the router, you have to go through a door.
Interesting.
It's another glass door like this one.
Well, I don't think that's how it works.
It's worth a try.
I don't think that's how it works. Then
it shouldn't matter that it's sitting out there.
Well, that's different because I'm talking computer to node and you're talking node to node. The whole idea of nodes is that each of them are their own access point, right? But I guess you're right. How does each node get its access? I don't know, man. The whole thing seems like wizardry or magic to me. But the easy way to test it is just open the door and, whenever you can do that when you're not running a dehumidifier, industrial grade, and see if it makes a difference.
It runs all the time. It's always running.
Old Homes, the joy.
It's been going for 2 years straight.
Really? You just refill it every 25 minutes?
It empties straight into the sump pump.
I love that. That's a fun name.
I just gotta clean the filter every month and a half.
I'm sure that gets done religiously.
It does. I actually don't mind doing it. It's kind of nice. Like you take it out and I just put it in the sink downstairs and just hit it with the high pressure spray.
I like that.
That's it.
Man,
I'm good about it. It's one of the few things.
That's impressive. A good filter hygiene is hard for anything. Air filters, pool filters, oil filters in your car. Very easy to ignore filters. We live in a world full of filters.
Everything's filtered.
Everything's filtered.
It's all filtered. Water filters.
Yeah. Oh man, we've got some water. We've got fucking Allison has like a still. She filters water through these 2 big carbon tubes that need to be replaced like every 4 months, and then pours that into a Brita, and then filters it through that, and that's what she drinks. It's insane.
That's an involved process. 10 minutes for a glass of water.
It's a bit much for water. I've not been sleeping well lately. Like just laying in bed with racing thoughts. I feel like I haven't had a good solid. And then when I do sleep, I'm like frustrated in my dreams. Do you know what I mean? I've been working very hard lately, and I think it's just past that threshold, and it's spilling into the rest of my life. And like I need to pull it back, but like I'm enjoying this time of being very focused. I don't know. That's where I'm at. What about you?
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe just enjoy it. Like tell yourself that you're enjoying it and you'll sleep better, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
That's right. That's a fresh perspective, actually. That's very, very good, friendly advice. Yeah, why not? Why not? Fuck it. We're having a good time.
Being real efficient. I don't know. Try it.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. This actually is a good thing.
Yeah.
Being frustrated at work is just part of life. Well, yeah, right. That's the other thing. Look, there's guys on Instagram these sales guys that just always pop up my feed, and they're giving lectures, right? Andy Elliott. Does that name mean anything to you?
Yeah,
The bald guy
I'm
with wears
familiar with
really
it.
tight pants.
Yeah. Yeah, he does wear tight pants.
A lot of his stuff is uh fucking ridiculous. Like he'll go and be like, "Have you ever gotten burnt out?" The guy's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "I never have. I've never been burnt out. I don't get burnt out. I just do my job. You're weak. You have a weak mindset. You know, that kind of it's like, okay."
Well,
Some of his
that's
stuff though actually kind of resonates. He's like, "Listen, man, if you're coming home and you're complaining about your job, like you're a fucking loser. No wonder your family doesn't support you.
I agree with that
Like
part.
compartmentalize it." Yeah. He's
I
like, you have to. Why would you come
Yeah.
home and complain about what you did all day?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it makes
Trying to be
makes
better about that.
everyone involved more miserable. Well, there's a difference between complaining and sharing challenges with your partner or family, right? Fine line, but
Gotta
yeah,
vent. Gotta
you
vent.
gotta vent. Yeah, right,
There's
exactly. And like
you,
also
but
get
yeah. If it's
co-collaborators,
incessant,
right? So I've
sure.
been super busy, which is very good. I have like a real chance right now. So I'm still within my first year, and I've spent it building momentum and building up a pipeline. And I'm like, now that the new fiscal year has started, it's going to take a couple breaks and some execution, but I've set myself up for the potential for the biggest year I've ever had if a million different things happen, right? So I'm in this mode of like, okay, well, I have this opportunity, which sometimes it's luck. In this case, it's probably some luck, some hard work, but for whatever reason, like I can see the end game starting to form. I'm starting to see a couple breaks go my way. I'm starting to see, the combination of, I don't know, you get it. You've been in that mode before. And I'm so focused on not missing that opportunity that like feel like I owe it to myself to go all in. But I thought I had lost a sale, one that I've been working on since like I started at Navan. And actually I did lose it. I mean, the guy called me like what was it? Early January and said, it was razor close, but ultimately one of the woman who's been going to be running the program just felt comfortable with the other sales rep because they had been in the travel industry for 20 years. And that's what she felt comfort with. And the one hand, it's like, well, you just told me that the reason I lost this is because of the salesperson, which I hate. But on the other hand, I can't be what I'm not,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like
Yeah.
I did something wrong or made a mistake. Well, I took it hard. Like it was really eating at me because like, I don't know, just so many things about it. So we're in San Francisco for QBRs last week. And like an hour before I'm about to present, which is, how those go. I'm presenting on my book of business, the State of the Union, what I have, what I've done. I get a call back from their senior vice president of finance to tell me they're stuck on a piece of language in the contract of the company they chose, which happened to be when he told me I lost the business. I sent him an email. I said, here are 3 things to look out for during your contract negotiation with that other company that might help you. I know them. I know their reputation. And one of those things his CFO got caught up on. And now we're in contracts.
Boom.
How crazy is that?
But listen, man, it's like that's why you're a pro, right? Because you did that. And you know that like every 1 out of 10 times.
That's right.
You might get a phone call.
I mean, like 1 out of 100.
Hey. Okay. Yeah, even better. That's awesome. Congrats.
Thanks. I mean, it hasn't closed yet, but obviously I feel pretty good. I mean, it's Agencia. Your beloved.
Yeah, that place fucking sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. And like the interesting thing is I'm shocked the CFO would catch. Like I don't know if the CFO caught it, And then my contact was like, oh shit, Josh mentioned something about that. Or if he, pointed it out, I guess maybe I'll find out down the road. But they also just changed our comp plan so that instead of getting paid on consumption, right, waiting for someone to launch and then as they book, we now get paid everything up front, regardless of if they book or not. Guess who likes that?
Yeah, everybody except for Navan.
Yeah.
Navan corporate. Why would they make a change like that? Were they losing sales people to places that did have that kind of plan?
I think a combination of things. Yes. Number one, aggressive gross profit goals for a company that's looking to IPO very soon. So you needed something to you need a huge sales surge, right? Captured a lot of market share, but you need to go from, I don't know if these numbers are right, but 36 to 40% gross profit, right? So not a huge change, but boy, there's a big difference between those two numbers. So that was part of it. And it was kind of a rare confluence of events where we had a VP of sales who just was effective enough and had enough juice within the organization to get that kind of a change approved. And then he resigned at our QBRs.
He's like, I was sticking around for this.
Yeah.
This is a disaster. This is gonna torpedo the company.
Yeah.
You gotta pay all this money up front and then collect it in the back end. There's no way this works.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's been a very interesting couple of weeks.
That's good, man. Morning, again, look, you got to lean into it, especially this time of year, right? Like, what else are you fucking?
This is out of the gates. Yeah. So we're in an RFP that I started talking to these people in June. We got down selected, and we're doing our vendor presentation this morning. So that's what I have at 8:30. And then these are, I don't know, you've been pitched to, I'm sure, software and things like that, right?
Only once, and it was kind of a half-hearted pitch, and I was not the decision maker, so I don't know.
You don't buy software? You don't need software to buy?
I personally, at work, I am not that decision maker. Yeah, we have like 100 different systems. It's crazy.
And you got a procurement team?
Man, I don't even know if it's that. That's the thing. Well, it's a new bank, so I don't know what their process is. But before, no, it was just piecemeal, man. It was so fucked up. And I ended up with, somehow we had like 100 different types of licenses for different pieces of software, and I ended up with none of them. So I was using good old Microsoft Excel to do all of my stuff, my tracking, my calculations, database management.
It's funny. A company reached out to me, a headhunter, for SaaS. What was it? It was like SaaS management software, like SaaS subscription management software. So this is how you know the SaaS industry has started to become a snake devouring itself. There's the hottest new startup is a company just to manage the other hot new startups that other companies have to buy from.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's like, did you see the Lyft VP of Finance made the error on the basis points during the earnings call or the margin expansion?
No. What happened?
Well, it was 50, and he accidentally reported it as 500 basis point margin and growth, and the stock went crazy. And then they had to issue a press release. Anyway, he took a job as the CFO at the exact company I'm talking about.
That guy, the Lyft guy.
The Lyft guy, yeah.
So they're the people. Okay, right. Yeah, nice. Good for him.
Yeah,
he's probably ushered out. You can't make that mistake.
Could you imagine? I mean, you're in that world, right? Like, is that it? Number one, is it possible that wasn't a mistake? And number two, like, how easy would that be to do?
So let me make sure I'm understanding here. He said that our returns are going to be 50 basis points. We're expecting 50 basis points
I believe he
in-
was responsible for reporting margin expansion, and he reported that their margins had expanded the previous quarter by 500 basis points
Yeah,
rather than the 50
that's a
that they
lot.
were.
That's 5%. That's
versus
a crazy.
0.5%, right?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it seems like a lot to go to raise your profits in that space by 5% quarter over quarter.
I don't know if Lyft had a 4.5% increase in profit margins, not profit, but like the margins usually stay about the same, right?
I don't think they do in those in that market, man. Uber versus Lyft is so commoditized right now that I can't imagine profits increasing, the margins increasing by that much. Because right, if the margins increase by that much, then that's all gravy, is what I'm understanding. That's all profit.
That wouldn't that have the biggest impact on stock price?
Yeah, like that's even bigger than profits going up.
That's what I
Profit
mean, right?
margin going up.
You've become more efficient.
Yeah, and
or
if you to
whatever.
come up with a in one quarter to increase that by 5% is a lot. 50 basis points seems high. I don't know. Maybe they just rate, but you can probably get 50 basis points by raising the price of every ride by $1.
Yeah, right.
It's unnoticeable by the consumer, but you can probably get there by doing that.
I guess my question is, do you see it as covert stock manipulation, or do you think it was an actual mistake?
I think
Just
those things get
nothing
mixed.
about it.
Yeah, probably just a mistake. I can't imagine saying something. If you were knowingly making statements like that, that's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah. But I guess, how do they know if you were knowingly doing it?
They'll
I guess
investigate.
they look at your trades. Yeah, right.
Sure. You say something like that and you move the market, and then if you're an insider, you sell a bunch of stock right after that, you're gonna get a call from the.
If he's the guy who's responsible for reporting those earnings, I can't imagine he'd be stupid enough to buy stock in his own name or buy a call option or whatever someone would do.
I'm sure he doesn't buy it. I'm sure he's been given plenty of it, and he's got enough. He's got shares to sell.
I see.
I think that's where it comes.
He wouldn't be able to
buying
sell
it is one thing,
something like that.
Right? But if you did, that's a pretty good sign that maybe it was planned. I'm not
so
saying
I wonder if
he or she did that.
Part of his termination, if he got to keep any of that stock that he juiced up.
Yeah, it's we'll see. What a guy.
He bought the CEO a new vacation home.
Before you get on that call, you got to fix your collar on that
no, I'm not gonna wear this. I'm gonna change.
There you go.
Does this beard look unprofessionally long for video presentations?
No.
I mean, there's nothing I can do about it now. I've got a call. So last night, it's like 10 o'clock and I'm preparing for this presentation I'm about to do, which, by the way, I was going to say, if you've seen them, you should know that they are highly choreographed events, down to the last word said and who says it and when. It's all a big production. Part of that production is a woman that works for Navan who is a domain expert. She's worked at every job in the travel industry and just knows everything inside and out, knows our product inside and out, and is set to deliver a complicated demonstration on how to do a air, hotel, and multi-city cross-country rail booking with managerial approval options and dashboards, right? Like that's the flow that they want to see. Both of her kids have strep throat as of last night. She can't make it. So I'm flying solo.
Just you, huh? Are you going to do that multi-city rail itinerary?
I mean, I would if I knew how.
Hold on. So back up. You're saying that you can book train tickets on this bitch?
Oh, yeah.
And you're saying this is what was requested by the client? They want to see you book a cross-country train tour?
The world of travel is insane. The reason they want to see that is because we're one of a tiny handful of solutions that you can actually book your European rail from the US point of sale. With your beloved Agencia, you have no chance of doing that. So they are so used to things that way that they have to see it to believe it.
I understand. I wasn't considering that the rail was taking place in the European Union. I was considering that it was going from, like Harrisburg to Indianapolis. And like that's how we're gonna get there. That's what we want. We want to see you get us from Akron to St. Louis. Trains only. Managerial approvals. Can you imagine working for whatever company that is? You got to get your manager's approval to take a train overnight to 2 Midwest cities.
Not only that, but dude, you'd be surprised at how many companies do this. They do this thing called pre-trip approval, which you might also have to do, where you get an estimate for the trip costs. You submit that estimate for approval, which you haven't booked anything when you get approval. So then if the price changes between the time that you submitted the estimate and when you got approval, then you have to go do it all over again. You would be shocked actually you wouldn't be shocked. People are more afraid of doing something wrong than they are excited about being efficient.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Personally, I've gotten overly afraid of doing something wrong. And I'm now I'm booking this and I'm going to explain it when it comes through.
Yeah.
Like landed at LAX in the worst rain day in the last 20 years, seeing the Ubers and it being 30 minutes for the fastest one. And I'm like, I'm booking that. I don't care what it costs. It's 30 minutes away. I'm not waiting an hour to save $40. And I did that. I got an Uber Black.
Oh, Uber Black was going to be quicker. Uber X would have been, fuck that.
Man. And the Uber Black still took 30 minutes for the car to go 1.5 miles. I watched it screaming at my phone in my head.
Did you order it through Agencia?
No, I got to the airport. That's the thing. We use Agencia only for hotels and flights. And then when we're allowed to book like the economy plus seats if the flight's over 2 hours, but you can't do that through Agencia. So then I got to go to American and book that separately.
You can't book an economy plus seat?
No. It won't let you select an economy plus seat on Agencia. The way we have it set up. It could just be because of the way your profile is set up. But if that's your policy, it should be. That's a nice policy, by the way. It's a very nice policy. I don't think that's unreal. I don't think that's what's yours. Is it something similar?
Oh, it's dog shit. The travel policies for salespeople is every company I've worked at. It's been horrible. Really? 6 hours or greater for economy plus.
Wow.
No business class. Doesn't matter how long the flight is.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty whatever.
You make do.
Yeah, they pay us high commission and then like resent us for it. So
make them sit in the back, middle seats only. Even
so,
if
like,
other
if
seats
you have
are
a 5 or 6 hour, do you get to go business class?
No. Like my flight to LA was exit row. You can fly business class overseas, and there's just no reason for me to ever fly out of the country.
You've done it, right? The lay flat.
Yes, on our honeymoon. That's the only time.
Right. Yeah,
to Hawaii.
It's fucking awesome, though. I mean, and like,
oh yeah,
the whole thing about first class, which I just don't understand why one airline in the history of airlines hasn't looked at this market and said, you know what? Let's differentiate ourselves by treating every single passenger with dignity and respect. That's what the benefit of first class is. Yes, the bigger seat is nice, but all of a sudden the flight attendants are there when you need them, are sweet as pie, anticipate your needs, keep you hydrated. Like, these are things they can do throughout the entire plane.
I completely disagree. I would rather sit in a big seat with no flight attendant than sit and coach in the regular seats that they have now and get the attention that.
No, it's not. I'm not saying that I want attention. I'm saying that the flight attendants and coach are barking at you, and
that's not true. It's
not like the difference
true
between a public kindergarten with an overwhelmed kindergarten teacher and a one-on-one tutor.
Listen,
in a beautiful spring garden.
that's how I sound like my dad here. That's how flying used to be, right? It used to be part. He always says this. Used to be part of the vacation. Now it's not. Now it's a problem to get to your vacation. I agree. When you're in first class, it's like part of the vacation. I love
It's
airplanes.
part of the vacation.
And it's
I mean-
fun to be on them in a nice seat with, even if it's not a lay down flat, but like a seat where I definitely have my own defined armrest.
Where you feel like a human being that's not in like what Israelis would consider like a torture position, right? Like a position to make you so physically uncomfortable that you reveal things.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Like it's so unnatural the way they have those seats now, and like nothing makes me want to throttle the life out of another human being more than someone sitting down into their seat so forcefully. You know how the seats kind of wobble now?
Yeah.
They wobble it, and then God forbid that same person then throws back their seat. Oh man. I almost fired one of these right into the back of a seat. If you're an economy, not economy plus. Economy plus is a little more room. If you're an economy and you put your seat back, you're a piece of shit.
Stop. I do it. It's my seat, man. I paid for it. I'm if I want to recline a little bit to help me I'm a big man, and it is
You
just
are a big guy, but
uncomfortable.
Have you felt what it feels like when the person in front of you does it though?
Yeah.
So it's either
notice.
it's
I'll
either
tell you what.
everyone does it or no one does it.
Here's the thing. If you sat down and it had already been done before you got to your seat, you wouldn't notice. It's the act that someone's intruding on your space that's infuriating. And I understand that. But in reality,
No. In
it's not.
economy,
It's-
you do it. It's the difference between being able to have my laptop unfolded and having my laptop like open at this angle.
you're like showing everyone else in the row what you're doing.
Yeah, I get it. And like
maybe.
honestly, I do it sometimes too. But in economy plus, there that extra whatever it is, 4 inches of space makes a huge difference.
I agree. I agree.
So,
It's
I don't
great. I love the exit row. I will always go for the exit row, and I know enough about
No
exit
recline.
rows at this point. Well, some of them do. You can't get the first exit row. You got to get the second one. Second one
That's the
reclines.
trick. Okay. You know
The-
what? That's
the-
funny.
the-
I thought that there was no recline in the exit row because they didn't want you getting too relaxed.
yeah. Like you said, that 4 inches of recline just is like it's like the white noise machine of airplanes. Put you right out. Yeah, that's why. It wanted you on your toes.
They want you to be sharp.
I did see on that flight. I guess it was my flight back. I was sitting on the aisle, and a guy a couple rows ahead of me was already sitting down, but someone in his row showed up, and he offered to help put her bag up. And he put her bag up, and he had a badge on his belt that was visible when he put his arms above his head. I was like, he's the guy. He's the air
Cop, you
marshal.
mean? Oh,
Yeah.
air marshal. Gotcha.
I'm guessing it was an air marshal. He was plain
Yeah.
clothes, but on the aisle,
So-
big dude.
That is still a thing.
I think so, man. I think that's a
Yeah.
permanent thing.
It's a great idea.
It's especially these days, right? With all the on the news every week or two, you see a story about a plane having to land because someone was
went nuts.
getting out of pocket.
Yeah.
By the way, I
Did
went on
you-
that trip. I had a couple things I wanted to bring up on that, and I'm not. Yeah.
What, to LAX?
Yeah, the senior leadership meeting. That we
How was
had.
it?
It was exactly how you would think it would be. There were 350 people at this thing.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
lot. They
I
had
didn't
a
realize your
podium.
company was that big.
It's not. There shouldn't have been 300. There should not be 350 SVPs in this company.
Gotcha. So we're a little overbloated.
Yeah. And they had it in one of these multi-purpose rooms at the Intercontinental. By the way, what a dumb hotel.
Intercontinental.
Dumb hotel. Didn't you say you stayed there?
Yeah, it sounds very familiar. Where is it?
It's downtown. in
Oh
Los
yeah, I
Angeles.
did. Oh yeah, did you take a
With the
stroll through
lobby on
downtown LA?
the lot. Well, I got dropped off. I didn't leave. It was raining so hard. There was no desire to leave.
Gotcha. Raining.
I was there that during the atmospheric river. I wasn't sure whether the thing was going to go off. It ended up
That's right.
not being as bad as, and you were in San Francisco right after it happened.
Yeah, it was perfectly fine, but everyone was talking about it.
So the Intercontinental, and maybe this will remind you whether you've actually been there or not. The lobby is on the 70th fucking floor.
Okay, no, but I stayed at I'm a Bonvoy guy now, so I stayed at the Bonvoy near there.
Bonvoy.
Or like, you know what I mean, Marriott, whatever.
Bonvoy.
They own everything. There's 2 hotels now, Hilton or Marriott. That's it.
That's not true. Intercontinental is IHG.
Exactly. That's
Holiday
exactly
Inn.
where you would stay.
Fancy holiday. Oh, dude, it wasn't my choice. This was where everything was going
Okay,
down.
That's crazy. 70th floor lobby. I don't get it, but cool.
So
maybe.
I like waited for my Uber. It was just a mess getting to the hotel from LAX. And I'm like unhappy. It's late. It's like 10 p.m. West Coast time, right? And I start it's like lobby, and it points to these elevators, and I'm like, all right. And it's one of these elevators that you don't hit buttons. You just like you get on and it takes you somewhere. And it went and it's packed, of course, and it goes up to some floor. Nobody gets off, and then it goes down again. I'm like, where's the lobby in this fucking hotel? Fucking hotel.
Right. And you can't hit the L button on the elevator.
There's no
for
L
lobby.
button.
There's no map. At that point I'm like, can I just go into a hotel that has a lobby right where you walk in?
Really. It's like there? I'm going right back to the airport and just taking the red eye home. Yeah. This is ridiculous. This is I can't deal with this. And so you get to the 70th floor, and then to get to your room, you have to take an elevator that stops at every floor down. So you can't get outside of this hotel from your room unless you take 2 different sets of elevators. There's no way. I'm sure you could walk in the event of a fire, but there was no way to get to the street without going up and then going all the way down, with every time 1 million people waiting for the elevators because there was only one bank for each of these things. It was like a 5-minute ordeal to leave your room and go to the lobby for the thing.
Dude, that sounds miserable and like so avoidable.
Like put the lobby on the floor. I put the lobby on the ground floor. Like
don't build your hotel that way.
Yeah. The upside down hotel concept didn't take off for a reason. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we show up to this thing, and there was like the podium and a screen behind the podium, and then there were like 2 like camera screens because the room was so big, right? So it was like a fucking Oscars. Double
multimedia event.
Right. And it was exactly, dude. I was sitting there, and at some point, I'm like, I'm gonna just start taking my phone out and making notes because this is funny to me. And walk-up music.
I can't wait. I mean, there's no more funny subject matter than corporate multimedia pump-up events.
So each speaker had their own walk-up music, and I'd like for you to try to guess some of the songs they played. I wrote down 5 of them.
Now, were you a speaker? Did you?
No.
Okay, because I would love to have tried to guess yours.
CEO, president, chief of marketing.
What do you know? What song you would pick for you?
I hadn't thought of one, but there's no way I would take it seriously. I would probably just do something fucking stupid. So
like play AM talk radio. I believe that was your idea originally when we used to go to Pirate games. Just live feed of what's ever on 1250 ESPN AM. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it was.
So
it was stuck with me. Okay, so let me think. I'm gonna guess "Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty.
That is a great guess, and it's not one of them.
But am I on the right track?
Yes. Yeah, you are.
Okay.
You are.
Um,
And now, let me just give you, I'm going to paint the picture for you here.
Yeah.
Please welcome CEO Dan Sullivan.
don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't.
Again, you're dancing around it. That's not one of them, but that's a
Back in Black?
That's a great one. Oh, nope. No, but there was an AC/DC song. Think about which one it would be for a bank.
Fuck, I don't know the AC/DC songs that well.
Money Talks. Money Talks was one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I really am dancing right around it. Okay, so there were no recent songs, right? Nothing like
no
Murder on the Dance Floor.
These are straight from No Murder on the Dance Floor. These are straight from the Business Conference soundtrack, Volume 1.
Biz Jams.
Biz Jams Volume 1. I'm gonna give you one.
Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen.
No, Taking Care of Business.
Yeah, shit, I should have got that. Bachman Turner.
Eye of the Tiger. CEO came out to Eye of the Tiger.
They really went with Biz Jams Volume 1.
I'm telling you, this is it. Money Talks. Like perfect, right? Ain't No Stopping Us Now. And then we just merged, right? They just bought Pac West, so they came out talking about like the transition and everything. And so the changes. And I'm at my table. I'm like looking at. I didn't know anyone sitting at my table. I was like, "Is this funny to you guys too? Because this is really funny to me. I love this soundtrack. This is perfect."
The answer to that question is no. I too have been at many tables looking at the genuine excitement on the faces of people around me, and just having a lot of concern for them, and then a lot of, the rest of it. I just so glad I'm not one of those people. But then I think, you know what? Maybe being a cynical, sarcastic, meta-aware jackass is the wrong way, and I just want to be an idiot who's delighted to hear a song that I know played in public.
That was that was what I took away from that thing. I'm like, I just don't fit in at these kinds of things. And I'm sure there's other people. I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? There's other people there, but when it comes to like corporate stuff, my whole life in those roles is such a lie. I am fucking faking it the entire time. I can't stand these things. I don't like it. Go ahead.
I think for guys like us, we hate it because it's not our show. And people who feel inside that they're capable of being on that stage or playing a different, it's infuriating, and you grow distance from it. People who never envision themselves up there, don't expect that of themselves, are happy being in the crowd. That's my theory.
There's some of that. There's some of that, maybe.
Like I've never walked into a room with a stage and thought anything other than I should be on that stage right now.
I did at one point think about, like, I was zoning out and thinking about what I would do if I got some award and they called me up on the stage.
Yeah, of course.
Like, what would I say? But anyway, I think there's some of it is just, and it was all stupid. It was like all jokes.
Yeah, of course. What else would you do? You can't squander that opportunity.
My thing is, for like the corporate life, I just don't. I don't want it. Like it's like a means to an end for me. That's it.
I get it.
And so when I go to these things and it's like, oh, I understand the message. It makes sense to me. I just don't need to be fed it in this sort of.
Right. Well, it's over the top and it's kind of ham-fisted. Shira is like she's like a pro on that circuit now. Like she speaks at events all over the country, maybe world, I don't know. And like has just carved out this niche for herself within LinkedIn where anytime they need someone to like get on stage and facilitate something, it's her. So
Really?
she's got some pretty cool opportunities. She's part of the machine now.
She should facilitate a conversation between you and I.
Yeah, I
That's what it
agree.
should be.
I don't know
That'd
that
be
she'd be
funny.
able to take it seriously, but I agree with you. I'm really enjoying this conversation, so I hate to cut it short, but I got to go get my final,
Yeah.
get changed and get prepped.
Do it.
Are you good for Friday morning?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Welcome back. Good to see you. I hated
Yeah.
that week off, but I love the energy coming back.
Yeah, I think it did more good than harm. Good luck
Yeah.
in a little bit, and we'll talk on Friday.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, man. Later.
Later.